A mother sits in the Logan County Jail accused of murdering her 3-year-old son and hiding his body under a trailer tonight.
He's shot.
Somebody was shot?
Yeah, somebody was shot. She walked into our bedroom and we told her, we were screaming at her, and she kept coming in the bedroom. And we shot her.
No. I've got a child victim I need rescue at the back door of Theater 9 now. I have 3 parties shot over here. Okay, where's rescue?
A Denver district judge told a mother that what she did was horrendous and then sentenced Miriam Gallegos to 12 years in prison. Gallegos, who's 23 years old, admits she tried to cover up the murder of her 3-year-old daughter. Prosecutors say she was doing that to protect her boyfriend, Angel Ray Montoya. He's a sex offender who is now charged with first-degree murder.
Later this morning, investigators will be back at the home where a 12-year-old boy is accused of killing his parents and seriously wounding a younger brother and sister.
And new information about the man police say shot and killed the mother of the pastor at an Aurora church. Fox 31 Denver's Deborah Takahara joins us live in Aurora with today's new developments. Deb?
Well, Ron, we now know the gunman had a lengthy criminal record, including weapons and drug violations. In the meantime, the investigation has shifted here from the church as detectives try to figure out what led up to that deadly shooting. They say it is an active investigation, still even today, interviewing friends and witnesses. Aurora police say as far as they can tell, the gunman, 29-year-old Kieran Parker, had no ties to the Destiny Christian Center or to 67-year-old Josephine Eccles, the pastor's mother, who was gunned down as she went to help Parker.
We don't know why the gunman did this. All the witnesses we've talked to have said the gunman made no comments whatsoever.
Detectives have traced Parker's route in the moments leading up to the Sunday afternoon shooting, including interviewing a friend who says Parker suddenly became agitated and drove off.
He was a little confused as to why Mr. Parker took off in the first place, so agitated. He has no idea what led up to that.
Parker sped off, crashing into some rocks, turning down a driveway, hopping a few curbs, and crashing into a car parked just outside the church.
We had never seen him before. My staff people said they'd never seen the guy before. We don't even know why he was in this. This is not an area you just show up at, so we're not clear yet why he was in the vicinity.
It's way off the beaten path. It does not look like a church. Their first question was, how is he related? How did he end up there?
An off-duty Denver police officer shot and killed Parker, ending a tragic event that we may never fully understand.
Who knows what would have happened had that officer not been there or had his gun with him. It certainly had the makings to be a lot worse.
And the accomplice to the horrific murder of a 16-year-old girl in Denver is found guilty. 16-year-old Alicia Martinez was killed in October of 2010. Now her family is speaking out about what they call the first steps towards justice in this case. Fox 31's Nina Sperano joins us live from where the victim was shot to death in the 4100 block of North Decatur Street in Denver. Nina?
It was here where 16-year-old Alicia Martinez was found dead, shot. And it was Francesca Pegliasati. It is the girlfriend of the man accused of killing her who was found guilty of accessory to murder today. Warning, details of this case may be too sensitive for some viewers.
She could have saved my daughter from being
dismembered like that.
Alicia's mother, Vanessa Martinez, sat in court while the horrific details of her daughter's death were laid out for the jury.
She said she feared her life. Don't you think my daughter feared her life as well?
16-year-old Alicia Martinez disappeared in October of 2010. Her body so disfigured they had to use dental records to identify her. Shortly after she was reported missing, police arrested Edward Timothy Romero for first-degree murder. It was Francesca Pagliassati's involvement in the crime that for many was so hard to believe.
It's been very hard, just to hear what really happened with my daughter is traumatizing and horrible. And I'm just glad they found her guilty.
According to court testimony, Pagliassati found Romero chopping up the girl's body in the garage.
Very difficult case. The facts, the photographs, spending a week with the facts of this case had to be very traumatic.
Pagliassati was charged with being an accessory to her murder by helping her boyfriend clean up the crime scene. After a 24-hour deliberation, Martinez's family got the verdict they were waiting for.
It says the system let her get away. They actually came through with it and charged her.
Shocking new information today about the man who killed an Aurora teenager and nearly killed a Fort Collins woman. Exclusively on Fox 31 Denver, prosecutors released their case file on Travis Forbes. In April of 2011, Kenya Monhay disappeared from a downtown nightclub. 5 months later, Forbes confessed to killing her and led police to her body. Fox 31 Denver's Julie Hayden is the only reporter to see the complete case file. She joins us with the exclusive information. Julie?
Well, Ron, from the beginning, there had been speculation that those two women were not Forbes' only victim. Well, and for the first time, we are hearing in this audio tape a conversation between Forbes and a Denver detective. And in this tape, in Forbes' own words, he talks about other victims. On August 23rd of last year, Travis Forbes was in jail in Fort Collins, accused of sexually assaulting and trying to kill a Fort Collins woman. A Denver police detective interviewed him about Kenya Monhay, a 19-year-old who disappeared in Denver about 4 months earlier.
All right, Travis, you have the right to remain silent.
Forbes tells the detective,
something I need to do is I need to find out what the definition of a sociopath is. I'm pretty sure I fit it.
These are pictures police took of Forbes' van. They knew he picked Monhay up in it, suspected he killed her, but could not find a body. Hearing about her family's anguish did not move Forbes, who felt sorry for himself and repeatedly said it was about getting the best deal for himself.
Now I'm going to spend the rest of my life in prison being raped. I will be raped.
When the detective asks him if there were even more victims out there, Forbes replied,
when everything comes to light, it's going to be horrific, horrendous.
Then this exchange.
I want to confess. I want to confess so bad.
The detective pushes.
Because there's more victims out there we don't know about. That's just a matter of time before they come up. Why are you nodding your head yes, but you don't say anything?
Forbes says he'll confess if prosecutors drop all sex offense charges.
You'll confess to your sins, to everything, including your other victims. You'll confess to everything if you go to prison without being labeled a sex offender.
Yes. Yes, that's what I'm saying.
I know my son's in heaven, and I know he's okay, and he is in a better place.
Juanita Kinsey stood before the judge for nearly 15 minutes, apologizing tearfully and trying to explain what led up to her killing her 3-year-old son, Caleb Pacheco.
It's been a heck of a life that I've lived, and drugs and alcohol, neglect and abuse don't excuse anything that I've done to my son.
Kinsey pled guilty to second-degree murder and child abuse resulting in death. Under the plea deal, the judge sentenced her to 32 years in prison.
Do you think 32 years is enough?
No, I think a life for life. You know, she's going to get out of prison, still a young woman. She's going to have a chance to have a life. What has Caleb got? Caleb never had a chance.
Caleb's body was found underneath this mobile home in January. His aunts say they hadn't seen him for at least a year before that.
I don't want the death penalty.
City woman is in jail while police search for her missing baby.
And tonight, Hema, that search has police combing through trash at a landfill. Fox 31 Denver's Greg Nieto is live in Aurora with new developments on how the investigation led to the trash dump. Greg?
It's a rather large landfill behind us here, just east of E470, basically nestled in a section that's considered part of Denver County and also part of Arapahoe County. The landfill sits behind us. Authorities have narrowed down this large area, basically about 1,400 acres, into a rather small search area, really only seen from our vantage point with a pair of binoculars, but it could lead to the finding of a missing little boy. No place is a good place to be looking for a dead child. Least of which at this waste management landfill off Hamden and Gun Club Road east of E470, where not far from the roar of the jets and the rattle of dump trucks, you'll find a Commerce City police vehicle, part of a presumed search for a little boy at Dad's landfill. Meantime, mom, 22-year-old Sharika Page, remains in an Adams County detention facility, facing charges of child abuse resulting in death.
It's just a tragic situation. It affects the officers that are investigating as well.
It was just 2 weeks ago when Fox 31 Denver was first on scene at a Commerce City apartment complex off of 56th and Olive, where Page had reported her son missing. Police initially taped off 2 dumpsters as they searched for the 7-month-old. Sharika Page was arrested soon thereafter.
Whenever a child is involved, it hits.
Kim, thanks.
New this afternoon, a Commerce City grandmother accused of killing her grandson now faces first-degree murder charges. Fox 31 Denver's Julie Hayden joins us live in Commerce City with new information on this troubling case. Julie?
That's right, Ron. Whatever happened to the 4-year-old boy inside this house, the coroner today ruled it was not an accident, it was murder. And his grandmother is in jail tonight, accused of killing him.
Please respect my wishes and my family.
Emotional family members were in court today as 60-year-old Becky Trujillo was formally charged with first-degree murder and child abuse resulting in death. Her 4-year-old grandson Gabriel died from blunt force trauma to his head and neck.
Now he's gone, and I blame it all on the police department, social services, and his grandmother.
Relatives say police and social services ignored their repeated calls reporting abuse.
So, like in this case, 10 days.
Other news tonight, Denver police investigating a possible murder-suicide of a father and his young son. Officers discovered the bodies late this afternoon in the 100 block of South Bryant. That's where Fox 31's Tammy Vigil joins us live with more on this tragic situation. Tammy?
Ron, police got a call just after 4 this afternoon to do a welfare check on a possible suicidal man inside that pale yellow home. But police couldn't have imagined what they'd find inside the garage.
She just was crying, saying that that's her son, that's her house.
What happened at this home at 139 South Bryant Street goes against the laws of nature of a father protecting his son.
How could a dad kill their own son, especially knowing that that's his blood? It's just a sad feeling.
Police wouldn't confirm the relationship, only why they got called to the house and what they found inside a car in the garage.
It's a very tragic situation we're looking at here where we get a call to do a welfare check. We come here, we find an adult and a child both pronounced here at the scene.
Neighbor Jaime Almanza says the father, 40-year-old Damian Marine, was very active in his 5 or 6-year-old son Toby's life.
He loved the child very much. He brought him everywhere. He took him to school. He'd even pick him up, normal, like a father loves a baby.
Marine had divorced his wife about 2 years ago and moved into a home across the street late last year.
If he had a problem with his lady, that's another thing. It's not the child's fault. It makes me very sad because I never would have thought he'd do this to his child.
New information this afternoon about a family tragedy in Thornton where a little boy and now his father are dead. Kevin Bristol died this morning at Denver Health. His son Michael was killed early Monday morning. Now neighbors are left wondering exactly what happened. Fox 31 Denver's Greg Nieto joins us live in Thornton with what he learned today. Greg?
That's right. Since we visited with you last, the scene here outside this home off of 92nd and High Street has become filled with candles, flowers, and balloons. And the coroner's office for both Adams and Broomfield County makes it official. Both Kevin and Michael Bristol died as a result of gunshot wounds. The mourning for the Bristol family now includes a second death, with news that Kevin Bristol died Wednesday morning. Little children brought by their parents and parents brought by their children, stopping by this home in the middle of High Street near 92nd to pay their respects.
It's the first time I've ever left anything on any fence, but it just touched my heart so much I had to come over.
Thornton police say early Tuesday morning, Carmen Bristol found her husband Kevin and 4-year-old son Michael suffering from gunshot wounds. The investigation is being treated as a homicide. But who shot whom?
It's a really sad scenario that Kevin and Michael were victims of a heinous situation.
Shannon Donovan is an ex-roommate of Kevin Bristol, seen here with him in this photo. Is it possible that Kevin could have taken his son's life?
I don't believe that. Not at all.
She gave us this video of Kevin Bristol on the right at his birthday party. Thornton police say Carmen Bristol is not a suspect, is not in custody, but is a person of interest, as is the deceased Kevin Bristol. Do you think she's responsible for what happened?
Yes, I do.
Meantime, while investigators remove evidence bags from the home, not too far away from where Mikey's toys sit, now new toys arrive that he'll never get to hold, messages he'll never get to read.
We don't know what has happened here.